Hi everyone, good morning or good evening or whatever time you're watching this, good that time of day. How is everyone doing? Oh, I didn't say my name yet. Oh, these intros are always so cringe. Okay, my name's Noah. This is my Flosstube channel where I show cross stitch, sometimes knitting, crochet, and other things, but today it's just cross stitch, so if you're here for cross stitch, you're great. If you want to venture into the world of Flosstube, you just search Flosstube here on YouTube and you can find all of these amazing videos. There's too many to watch, but they're all so good. But I just put out little videos every other week, so welcome to my channel. This is Erickson. Look how big he's getting, y'all. He's not even 4 months old yet. I have a lot to discuss today. Oh, let's do the YouTube stuff first. If you're new to the channel, hi, hello, welcome. Thanks for trying me out or watching my videos. I talk a lot. I say a lot, and yeah. I don't know. What do you think about that? I share a lot about him too. Look at him. He knows I'm recording because he's like, I'm the center of attention, Dad. He's the best. I have so much to share about him throughout the video. I'll just kind of talk about him, or maybe we'll have a little segment. Aw. Look, you're so cute on camera. Okay. I have a lot to do. I have a lot to say, and I have a cute cat journal, because you can never have too many journals. Yeah, it looks like you. See, doesn't it look like him? Yeah. He's getting so big now that I have to hold him with 2 hands. I remember he used to fit in my one hand. Okay, I've got to set you down, baby. Yeah, the biting, an update on the teething. It's not going well. Stop. Now he wants to play. No, we're just... Okay. He went to the window. He's happy up there. Okay, now that he can reach it. Okay, 2 minutes in. This is the setup for... Yeah, gosh. I hope someone finds this comedic in some way. But to me, I'm just all over the place all the time. But I have notes, so hopefully I can stay on track. The goals today, I have 2 FFOs, which stand for fully finished objects. I have no finished objects, I just completely finished them. I have a lot of whips, or works in progress, specifically 6 to show y'all. And I don't have haul, but I do have just some things that I've bought, or so no book review today because I, have not been reading the past couple of weeks. I've been listening to an audiobook, but I'm not all the way there, and I'm still kind of getting my grasp on the book, so it's been a very eventful 2 weeks. But let's get into the cross stitch. So I do want to talk about a huge announcement first. If you've been with me for a little while, I think it was Flosstube number 4, which this is Flosstube number 10, and it is December 14th, 2020. So I have a couple of things that I want to talk about first before we get into the cross stitch. Sorry for always doing this to y'all. So I will see y'all again on the 28th, 2 weeks from now. So I will see y'all. I'll put out one more video before the end of the year. I'm not going to set goals for next year. I know a lot of cross-stitchers are setting year goals for them, and they're going to film a video on that. I've never really been one to do that, just because typically my goals don't end up happening, and then I get really discouraged, and then I don't want to stitch at all, so I just don't set up long goals like that. But I will have a new video next week where I'm just going to do a finish parade. So it'll be all of the projects that I finished this year, and that's pretty much all the video will be. So if you're into that and seeing what I've accomplished this year with my stitching and what I was able to finish, then I'll just go and record or show all of those as well. Don't chew on that. Don't chew on that. The thing is, I've got like my lighting set up and the tripod and the cords, and he's like, ooh, something for me to chew on. No, baby, you can't sit here. Come over here. And also, all of my cross-stitch bags have little dingly things, so he enjoys when I'm playing, like, you know, opening up the bag, because then he's like, oh, a toy. So, okay, this just isn't gonna work. This just isn't gonna work. I'll see you in a little bit. I love you. He knows exactly, oh, camera shaking. He knows exactly what to go for because he's not supposed to go to it. I'm sure he would understand if you have kitty cats or children or dogs or anything that knows that it cannot go to a certain thing, always goes to that one thing. So I will have, let's get back on track. I have a video coming out next week. It'll be just finishes that happened this year. I have a few finishes that weren't fully finished, but I will still show in that. So it'll be just what I accomplished in 2020, stitching wise. And I'll see you on the 28th for Flosstube number 11, which this is 10, so we're double digits now. We're like super official. And what was the other thing? So if you've been with me for a while, this is where I was going the first time, sorry. Flosstube number 4 or 5, I announced an Etsy store. I have since closed the shop. I closed it 3 or 4 nights ago, and I started up a Gumroad. So if you're new to Gumroad and all of that, and you don't know what exactly that is, it's you can get patterns or merchandise or anything like that for you can name your own price. I'm doing a really bad like way of explaining it, but you can set your price to 0, or you can do anything that's allotted that you think that the product is worth. So I know Julie does it, Bart does it. I'll have both of them linked down there in the description box for the show notes, and it just allows cross-stitch designers and other people too. It's just specifically for me for cross-stitch. I didn't feel too good about having my stuff on Etsy and setting a certain price for it, and Etsy also takes, I think it's like 35% or something, and it just felt strange that stitchers were, point is, I'm doing a terrible job at explaining myself. I have a Gumroad now, so my patterns on there are free or pay as you want. So let me show that. It just makes me feel better about putting out my designs. So this is how my Gumroad looks. I'll have it linked in my link tree, and these are my patterns here. So I do want to thank everyone that has helped or supported me on Etsy, but I think this will also just allow more stitchers to be able to stitch designs and kind of give back to the community all of the free designs that I've received or, you know, over the years. So we've got that. That's the big announcement. I think that's all I need to go about through with the channel. It's hard when there's 2 weeks of no talking with y'all, because I feel like I'm always missing important stuff that I need to share with y'all. And not everyone follows on Instagram, so it's hard to also make announcements there that they might not see, because Instagram is really weird now ever since their last update, and I miss out on stuff all the time. So anyways, let's get straight into the stitching. So I have 2 fully finished objects. Both of these are my designs. I charted both of these. This first one is a Christmas present that I finished last week, but I fully finished this morning because tomorrow I am giving it to her. She is my best friend. I'm gonna show it here real quick, and then I'll talk about the sappy stuff. This is the teacher cross stitch. This will be on the Gumroad later for everyone. I wanted something, okay, the backstory behind this. I dyed this fabric myself. I wanted something that was kind of primitive but still modeled, and I had some spare even weave laying around. This fabric was back here, is from Joanne. I just did a wall hanging. I'm gonna put an actual cute little ribbon on it later. I just didn't want it to dry and have to wait on it. And so it's, you know, a teacher acronym. So it's tolerant, energetic, able, caring, humble, encouraging, and responsible. even though I charted this myself and I knew what I was stitching, do you know how many times I made sure that I spelt these words correctly? I was so paranoid that I was going to spell encouraging or something like that wrong, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I used, I think DMC has those little wound up balls. Um, sorry, I can't help myself. They have those little balls that have their weights attached to them. I don't know the exact name of it, but I used the 5. So it was just one strand of that. And it gave really good coverage. So this is what it is. So the reason why I stitched it in the first place, so her and I actually met in the same teacher program 3.5 years ago. And next semester we only student teach. So we won't be together anymore. So all of our classes have been the same because we're in the same program. So freshman year in our biology class, we started talking to one another, and next thing leads to another. We realize we have more classes together, and her and I have just been inseparable since. And she's really helped me a lot, and I think this is just the perfect Christmas gift because of the emotion behind, and she is all of these things like 10 times over. She's gonna be an amazing teacher. I'm getting emotional. She's gonna be an amazing teacher. I just can't wait to see her do what she loves. That's it. Oh my god, I'm crying now. Oh my lord. Used to cross stitch to fan myself. But I'm really excited to give this to her tomorrow. She has no idea. She wanted a cross stitch gift. And so she wanted me to stitch something for her, whether that be, randomly or for her birthday. And I know that she will appreciate this because I feel a little weird sometimes gifting cross stitch because a lot of people don't know the work that goes into it, but she does. And I'm just really excited that I can give this to her tomorrow and see her reaction. And again, I obviously have a lot of emotion tied up in this, so I'm very happy that I'm able to show it here so I can gift it tomorrow, which is why I was trying to finish it. Now, this other one might get me emotional too. So a few weeks ago, I was on Instagram, and there was a post that was circulating. Typically they circulate when I see, like, Michelle Bindi will post something on her Instagram story, and then a lot of us other stitchers or someone will repost those on our stories because, we want them on our page. Now, this one was circulating, where is it at? Do you ever just start looking through your photos and you're like, why do I have all these photos? But then you can never find the one that you actually need. Well, found it. Okay. So there was a tablet that was engraved and it was going around on everyone's stories. I forget who originally posted it, but it says, I'd rather be excluded for who I include than be included for who I exclude. Which sounds like a mouthful, but when you actually look at it and read it, it's very impactful. It means a lot to me. So I charted it up, put it out there into the world. Now it's on my Gumroad, and this is it fully finished. I just love these cats. I love these cats so much. So again, I'd rather be excluded for who I include than be included for who I exclude. And it's a very nice way of saying that I'm not going to bully other people to fit in. And that really just means a lot with the year that I've had and educating myself and being educated on a lot of the hot topics that are floating around right now with racial injustice and systemic racism and how it suppresses people of color. And then, of course, to me, this also with the rainbow also represents the LGBTQ plus community for me. And I thought this cat fabric would kind of give it a little bit of happiness to it, because the cats are well, I love cats, obviously, but they also are rainbow, so it pieces with it well. But I just did it on an Aida, I think it was 14 count. It only took a few nights to stitch. I stitched it a while ago, I just haven't showed it. Maybe I showed it, no, I started this on, see, these 2 weeks have been very long. But yeah. So those are my 2 FFOs, and I love it. Again, I need to put a ribbon on that one so I can actually hang it on my wall. I think with unconventional size cross stitches, I enjoy doing the wall hangings because that way I don't have to find a picture frame that actually fits into, like the cross stitch fits into the picture frame. And to me, I have more control over how tight the stitches are pulled on those than I do with the picture frame. So it also kind of goes with my shirt that says original. I don't know what that shimmy was there, but okay. Those were my FFOs and FOs, I assume. Next thing that I have are works in progress. And there are quite a bit. And they're all worth it, for sure. My very first one, I have in... Every time I look at this bag, I'm just... This is from Stitch and Button. And that's Vicky Gable. She's one of the moderators on Virtual Stitchers, which I get on Fridays, and is always a hoot and a holler. I mean, it's very nice, especially because I'm staying at home as much as I can, except for when I go to work, and I'm being very isolated, you know, because of the world and the way that we are right now. And so when I get on there, I get to see everybody each week, and it's nice to just catch up and listen to everybody talk, and while you're stitching, it's really nice. The weeks that I don't get on because of work or something else pops up, I do kind of get a little sad and think, like, I could have pushed this, you know, and so I'm happy that I was able to get on last week. But the first WIP that I'm gonna show is Patriotic. This is, I'm not gonna show each one of my project trackers just to kind of save some time because I do have a lot to talk about today. But these are from S Word Designs on Etsy. I'll link her shop beneath or in the description box show notes. It is Patriotic by Singy Stitch or Rachel Moore, and it is on 25 count opal even weave, and it is the called for flosses. I started it roughly in July. I didn't have an exact date, and I was able to get 4 days of stitching in on it, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of December, and this is where I'm at with her. I wanted to push to have her face filled in, but then I couldn't find my floss, which is a little embarrassing, but it is what it is. So I had to go and buy more floss, the color that I was missing. I'm trying to set it up on this beautiful poster board like I've got. Make it a little bit easier on myself. I don't iron, I'm sorry. Oh, the opalescent is showing. I hope it shows on the final. But this is where she's at. I'm doing her 1/1. I'm losing a little bit of dimension in her face with the 1/1. So right in here with her lips and in the eyes, I can't wait to backstitch because that's really gonna show, it's really gonna show all the dimension that she has. But I got a lot of her face done. So I only have a little bit down here left. And then of course these 2 blocks in her eyebrow. So, oh, and there's also like a headline, or yeah, there's gonna be a little bit more dimension up towards her, the flag wrap. But I named her Naomi. There's a story behind that. I was on an airplane, and this airline attendant, her and I had a conversation, and it was really emotional to me, so I named her after this piece, and there's a whole backstory, but I'm sorry. That's the one thing about filming next to a window. The sound is just too close. But I have a really emotional story behind her, and to save time, I just won't mention it today. But I'm loving how she's turning out on this opalescent fabric. It's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. I didn't show the needle minder that I'm using with it because I don't have it on the fabric, but this is the one. This is from Oliver. He gifted it to me after, I think it was a while ago. I think it was actually with, yeah, the pumpkins and bittersweet. I had ordered some over-dyed flosses for this, and it was my first over-dyed project, so he sent this as a cute little gift, and I just love it. Also, sorry for not shaving. It's very easy to not shave when you're wearing a mask all the time. Wear your mask. Help save lives. It's not a political statement. It's a human, you should be doing that. But back to the cross stitch. Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. I did pull it back out. Her, him, them. I did pull the cross stitch back out. I have in my bag that Robert made me, Robert's Palace of Stitches. I'll link him as well. He made me this a while ago. It's got this like green, it's a beautiful bag. But it's a perfect bag to keep my pandemic in because, well, I needed, sorry for the crinkle, but this, oh, I didn't show what patriotic will end up looking like. I'll get back into this. The normal Flosstube stuff. This is what she'll look like. So see how there's a little bit of dimension in her head right there and before the wrap. She's so fierce. I love the way she looks. She's fierce. Oh. This is what pandemic will look like. I'm highlighting or circling where I'm doing black, which you'll see here in just a moment. Let me try to wrangle this bad boy onto this poster board, because if you haven't seen Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers, it's a big piece. Love her, love a lot. However, it's a little funny to try to wrangle while I'm on Flosstube with y'all. So I put in just over 1,000 stitches. I do have Pattern Keeper that I'm using for her right now. And let's see what we can do. So I'm able to track my stitches and the progress. I hit just over 10%. So this is the full piece right here. I've done the border around. Oh, do you like my pants? This is what the entire, how wide it'll be. Typically all of this is in the Q-snap, so yeah. I actually got a lot done. So there was a little bit of this here, I can't remember. I'm not one of the cool floss tubers that puts it before and after because I'm not skilled like that. But I was able to put in over 1,000 on this alone. So, I think it looks great. Page 2 ends right here. So, majority of the rest of the page is actually, I think I'm just going to do in the white, which this motif copies over. There's another bird. I think there's another like squirrel somewhere over here, but it's moving right along. This took me about 2 nights to do. I was able to, I have it right here, because remember I took notes. I did 555 stitches on the 8th, and then because, 555, and then I did 494 stitches on the 9th. So this was also the first time I was able to circle the days since I've gotten my project tracker. So that was fun. I'll give one more look at Pandemic because I love seeing it back far away and then up close. So I'm using DMC Blanc, which is white, and then I'm also doing DMC 310. I did it on a 16 count Aida, and I hand dyed that myself. So. Oh, and these needle minders as well, both come from Caffeinated Cat Crafts. Caffeinated Cat. It's the alliteration for me, which I love, but I always get super duper muddled with that. My next whip is my mystery sampler, the 2021 by Linen and Threads. Oh, My watch is telling me that I haven't moved enough today. That's always great. Really makes you feel like you've done something with your day, you know? I'm doing the, let's get back on this. 18 count Oatmeal Aida. I'm using DMC 311. Edit the linen and threads and Fox and Rabbit designs. This is a free pattern on the Linen and Threads website. Now, I believe 2017 and 2018 are being taken off of the website at the start of the new year. They have announced their 2021 stitch along. Now, it is Talavera, which is a pottery, I'm just gonna butcher this. It's a traditional, beautiful pottery. It's very vibrant colors. Now, I am not participating in any other stitch-alongs until I can get a few of my stitch-alongs completed. So I think I will just wait and see how it turns out, and if I do want to stitch it. This is my first ever stitch-along that I've done, and it's also the first ever mystery stitch-along. And I think it's turning out fierce. Where did I just put those? Y'all gotta see what it's like dealing with myself. This is where it's at. I did October, or part of October. So I got these little ghosties done. Look how cute those little ghosties are. Oh, I love them so much. And if you see here, I had to frog some stuff. I was drinking some wine and got a little miscarried away. Just carried away. I got a little carried away with the counting and messed up. But it looks good so far. Look at that. I think I'm actually going to move down and complete the border and then work my way in. Just because I want to see this sharp edge. I think that helps kind of fill in. Like, I like how it looks like that. So I think I'll hop up to, I think it's November is up here. I can't remember. October goes all the way up and forms this corner, so I'll go ahead and finish that out, do this, and then work on the motifs inside. But yeah, it's not ironed. I don't iron any of my stuff. I'm sorry. But again, I'm using 18 count Oatmeal Aida and straight out of the box. That came from Michael's. I used tape to serge my edges because I was so excited to start and I didn't want to pull out the sewing machine. Yeah, there we go. Awkward silence now, right? I guess I can tell y'all how my past 2 weeks have been while I'm doing stuff like this. Got pretty sick at one point. Thought I had, the COVID. And so I went and got tested, missed a whole weekend of work. Thankfully, that came back negative. Still was sick. I think I just had a very mild case of the flu, if that. But I don't know. Point is, I'm good now, so don't worry about me or anything. But so I didn't get a lot of stitching done during that time just because I was really tired. But then I felt like I had to make it up, so I just started, crazily stitching the past week. So that's where we're at with that. My Antonio, which Velcro, is a stitch along with Julie and Scott. Scott stitches in Spain, and Kansas City Girl Julie. Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World is her full name. I love saying it. Really just... Where did it go? I'm losing these little clips. I thought I was trying to be all cute with them. They're just causing me more of a headache. Oh, Lord have mercy. If you film floss tubes, you know how everything around me looks right now. It is kind of stressing me out. Antonio Satsuma Street is the designer. I'm doing it on 32 count even weave. Doing the called for flosses. I was able to stitch on this the 12th and the 13th. Holding it in my everything binder that Dawn Marie made me. I'm still loving it, And this is where the actual cross stitch is at. This was my last whip that I've most recently worked on. I'm having to do a little bit of recharting on this bird right here because his neck is actually supposed to be down here and the belly is supposed to be lower, but I like how he's turning out. That's pretty true to color. Very pink and purpley, and I think the green kind of actually dims it down. I thought it would make it more vibrant, which I'm okay with that, but I think it makes it look more neutral, like it neutralizes it. And that little panda bear right there is a needle minder that I got in the needle minder kit from, there you go, from Top Knot Stitcher. So I actually made that needle minder, and I love him. Isn't he so cute? Here are the other two. I made the Christmas tree, and I had to make the fox because, come on, look at that fox. But those really easy to make. And I didn't realize that I could hold my needle minders now on my bookshelf, so I'm kind of obsessed with that. And that's what they're doing right up there. Look how cute they are. Oh my god. So, yeah. That's where it's at. And this is actually, I only have a column, like right here, of 2 stitches, and that'll be the width. So I still have a lot of extra fabric, and then plenty of margin to finish it when the time comes, because the progress is, it's getting there. It's okay. I only spent 2 nights on this one, the 12th and the 13th, so not bad, not bad. Well, that's that on the bigger pieces. I do have 2 other whips, which is right here, sorry, crinkle. I have this in just a plastic bag. I try to keep my mill hills out of bags such as these, which this is my bag that I made. This is what had Linen and Threads mystery sampler in. I try to keep my mill hills out of those type of bags because the beads and all of that kind of, I don't know. I just like having my mill hills in a see-through bag. So the first one that I worked on was the painted pumpkins, the charmed ornaments collection. These were gifted to me a while ago. I think it's actually been a couple of months. I had set goals for myself, and of course I can't accomplish my own goals that I set for myself. So we're just kind of stitching these as we go. This is Persian pumpkin. This is gonna be silly. Like laugh at myself. I actually only had the purple done. This dark purple in here. Those days that I wasn't feeling well, I stitched on this because it's easy to see. It's 14 count. It comes with everything I need. It's pretty simple blocks of colors, not a lot of counting. So I was able to do everything else. So all of the actual cross stitches are done now, and I just have the beading left. But beading for me, I kind of have to be in the right mood for beading just because I feel that it's very tedious and I wasn't feeling well, so that was not something that I wanted to go with. But I put, the tape is because these perforated papers, sometimes like you can kind of see it there. They'll catch your floss, and I don't try to fray my floss. Let's try that one more time. I don't want to catch my floss on that every time and split the floss while I'm stitching with it, so these were really bad spots that I was catching, so I just went ahead and put some masking tape on top of it. Which these end up getting trimmed down anyways, so next time I'm in the mood to bead, this will be the one that I bead. And then I also worked on my other mill hill because I think I saw Shannon post on Instagram. I follow her on Instagram, and she had posted her mill hill, but it's in the same series, in this autumn series of buttons and beads. Sorry about the glare. I have the espresso one. It is there's a lot of stitching in this, which is great and fine. I don't mind, but it's just something that I try to chip away at whenever, just little by little. So I was able to get this white border done, this like taupey border, and I got the start of these little espresso beans in there. I also did this like brown, like the coffee spirals, that you can kind of see there. See little coffee spirals? I'm dreading that those single stitches right above the actual coffee maker, the coffee holder, because on here, I'm not going to be able to carry them because it's all blank in here, if that makes sense. So there's no other stitches in here other than those, so I'm going to have to use the pin stitch, which is one that you can lock your stitch in the same spot and then end your thread right there, and you don't have to carry anywhere, you don't have to put a knot in. It's really hard to verbalize how to do a pin stitch. I would just recommend that you search pin stitch tutorial here on YouTube, and there's a few good videos on that because that's how I learned. But that'll be how I do that, because I did make the mistake of carrying there, and not that it's a big of a deal, but I just notice it and it just makes me feel a little weird, because again, it's not going to be stitched behind that, so it's not going to hide where I carried the thread. So again, when I'm in the mood, I'll pull this one back out. These are just easy stitching because they're 14 count perforated paper. I don't have to get out my Q-snap. I don't have to use my Lowry stand or anything like that. I can just pick it up, put a few stitches in, and put it back down if I want. So, well, that's that on whips. Did I run through those? I feel like I ran through those. For the people that are trying to watch my video in a decent amount of time, this is a good one for you. I do have a few other things, though, to talk about. These are going to be crinkly. So last video, I had shown my shown my cat ornament and talked about how I had stitched it. I thought it was a dimensions. So I was sitting there and I was thinking, when I complete a cross stitch, I have a binder that I put either the patterns or the cover art in, because I don't know why, I just don't throw it away, but at the same time, I don't ever think about throwing it away, because why would you throw something like that away? And I was going through my stash and I was like, it's got to be in here somewhere. I found what they were. So, for anyone that was wondering, because a lot of people reached out and asked if I still knew where they were selling them, even though I was having a hard time figuring out who designed them. But they are the Christmas Kittens, and they are by Joan Elliott, right down here. So I remember it was a full kit. And I had made most of these ornaments. Sorry about the crinkle. I had made both of the ones that had the black fur. And then of course, this is the one that I showed last video right here. These were the ones that were gifted. No, the tabbies or these orange cats right here were the ones that were gifted to my ex-mother-in-law. But these were the ones that's neither here nor there, but this is this is what it looks like now. So if you need to try to find these cute little kittens, this is where it's at. Joan Elliott Christmas Kittens, and it was a complete kit. I remember getting it on Amazon, but again, it's been a couple of years, so I don't even know if Amazon still carries it. I didn't look before I got on here, which is bad when I think about that hindsight. But my good friend, which is why I bring all of this up too, my good friend Vanessa, who now has a Flosstube channel, I'll link her below as well. She reached out to me and she was like, so will you ever stitch another Dimensions ornament? And I was like, of course I will. I just don't have very many. And so she was like, well, you have a little something something coming your way. And so I was, fangirling over here like, oh, that's so sweet of you, thank you. And her and I talk on it pretty much every day. So it was special for her to, consider and send me something. And so I get home, I go into my mailbox, and it's from 123 Stitch. And it's a pretty dense package. I was like, what did I order? I can't remember, because it just says from 123 Stitch. And then I saw my name on there, Noah Del Rey, who Vanessa has nicknamed me because her and I have this obsession with Lana Del Rey. So it was just, I immediately start freaking out. I get out my phone, I'm like, I got it. So I open it. She sent me 4 kits, self-contained kits, that are Christmas ornaments. So I haven't opened any of them because I wanted to show them here before I start on, and I'll show you which one I'm starting with. But I'm stitching all 4 of these. This year, maybe not, but throughout the year, I want to have these done by next Christmas. So even though I said I don't have goals for next year, I guess that is a goal for next year. I love contradicting myself. So, I mean, it's a reindeer ornament. Look how fierce that ornament. Oh, gosh. And she also sent me this snowman. I'm gonna get emotional. I'm like in the mood to cry today. I don't know what's going on. This is a train. Look how cute that train is. It's got a little present in the back. And then I think this one is my favorite. Not that I have a favorite of all of these, but if I were to have a favorite, this would be the favorite. A gingerbread man house. Look at him. How do you not love him? Look at him. I don't know what his name is. Or her. Or them. They're going to be non-binary. I love that. But look. Oh, I love it. So, crinkle, sorry for the crinkle. But they come with all the floss and it comes with the canvas as well. So, it'll be, again, one of those things that I can pick up and just put a few stitches in or sit there and spend a night on. And I'm really excited. Dimensions has really, I mean, their kits are always great. I've stitched a few more of theirs, but look at those. The glare is so bad on these, but I just love them. I mean, I was just freaking out each one I saw. I still get a little, I mean, my heart goes, ooh, you know, because it was from her, and she's always been so sweet, and I love talking to her, and she stitches the most amazing, Vanessa, she stitches the most amazing Mirabilias and Nora Corbetts, and now she started her Flosstube, and she does the cool shot where it's just the stitching, and you can see up close all of the beautiful detail that she's put in, and she's had a few framed pieces that are just gorgeous, and we just, she just warms my heart when I have a message from her, or, you know, when we're just talking back and forth, and she's a good person, you can tell. Like, she's just a great person. So I don't have haul, but I do have a little bit of something that I got. I have an order from Fire Poppies coming in the mail, so that'll be on the next Flosstube. I have to start a really, really, really cool, oh, speak of the devil. I have to start a new start. I have to have a new start. So Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, has a design. She has her like designer name as well, which is Hemlock and Rye Stitchery, who did this When There Are Nine, and it is the tribute to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's also the one that I did my Christmas in Nantucket. That'll be on my finish parade for this year. That makes me happy. And so she also has a plenty of other amazing designs on her Gumroad. She also uses Gumroad, kind of, you know, pay what you want or pay zero, that type of thing that we talked about earlier. But she was sending me some photos last week when she was designing some stuff and stitching some stuff. And look at this. I mean, she kind of broke Instagram as soon as she posted it, so I'm sure everyone has seen it. But it's the Happy Holidays trio. I love it. I love it so much. So she was inspired to take, it was from Matt, MBC Stitcher. If you go to Julie's channel, there's a whole video, or her most recent Flosstube 770, talks about this in detail. She's going to donate the money that she gets off of this to a great foundation out there where she's at in Colorado for LGBTQ, and she does an amazing job at explaining it, so I would encourage you to go watch the video. So there are 3 quotes, and it says, "Don we now our gay apparel, holiday greetings and gay happy meetings, and make the Yuletide gay." So all of these, because a great story Julie has with it, with Matt, and the quotes and the songs and all this other stuff. But I just love how they look. Oh, stunning. So I ordered the fabric that I need for that, so I had that coming in the mail, and I also ordered a few extra pieces of the Etoile. But this was my haul that I was talking about. So, oh, I hope that Etoile is showing on camera, because it's showing right now. So DMC Etoile is, to me, a manageable metallic. So DMC has their metallic flosses as well, but they're really hard to work with. Like, they're very coarse and fray a lot. These are great to stitch with. It's like stitching with their cotton. So I picked these up from work. I have something in my eye. I picked those up from work, and then of course I ordered the rest that I need. Just, oh my gosh. I'll get it. Or maybe not. This is not what you signed up for when you clicked on this video. I cannot believe it's already been 45 minutes, but it feels like it's been 2. So yes, go support her. Of course, I'm gonna link her with everything else and with her stuff in the description box. But when she got emotional. Me watching it, I got emotional. I can't wait to stitch these. And of course, I'll be showing those with y'all too. But I'm super duper excited. That's it that I have for stitchy related stuff. I really have something in my eye. Oh my gosh. It doesn't help that I also wear contacts. Oh, okay, I think I got it. I'll just blink really fast. There's like 3 minutes of me just blinking. So that's it for cross-stitch related stuff. I'm not doing a book review. I just want to kind of talk about a couple of things. This has been things that have been going on in my life that are related to Erickson, and I kind of find funny, but also a little bit concerning with like myself. A lot of y'all have reached out to me about asking about my scores for my state licensing exam that I took actually almost a month ago now. There are some issues with the scoring and the holidays from Thanksgiving, and of course COVID affects how many people can score it because it is a manual, like someone has to go in there and score it because they're written exams. So I'm still waiting those results, so thank you to everyone that has reached out asking me if I passed or how my score was. I still don't know yet. I don't have a day that it'll be done by because, again, everything's just kind of up in the air. Normally the turnaround time was only 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but it's been well over that now, and I think it's only been 4 weeks. 5 weeks. But I check every day and they're still not there, so I just wanted to clarify that too, in case you watch this video and, you know, just to let y'all know. And then a few things about myself so how do I want to word this without being like too descriptive? Long story short, I had to go to an allergist for a couple of things. I had been referred to an allergist, and so they did the skin prick thing on my back and all of that stuff. So I was dealing with that the past couple of weeks, but turns out I am moderately allergic to cats and dogs. I've always grown up with cats and dogs. I've always kind of been, like, my skin's always been irritated by them. I just thought I had sensitive skin. Turns out I'm also allergic to like a whole other world of things, so that's not important to where I'm going with this. So of course my first concern is Erickson and how, you know, he's a cat and he lives with me and I'm moderately allergic to him. So I've gone through a few things around the house now. I vacuum daily, of course. It helps keep the dust and dander down, but I also have HEPA filters in my house now, so like HEPA filter machines, they can purify the air and those will help. But the reason I'm bringing it up is until I get treatment for that stuff with allergy shots, I'm not able to get another cat, and so, or any other animals really, which makes me, it's been a few weeks, you know, since that's happened, so I've been able to work through that on my own. Where am I going with this? Because I don't want to like disclose too much because this goes out into the world. I'm not getting rid of Erickson. That's like not even within the realm of possibility. He's not helping, obviously, the conditions that I have, which is why I had to go to the allergist. So to do all the things to help keep that at bay, the allergy at bay, is what I'm doing. But I was hoping that I would be able to get him a little brother or a sister here soon, and now that is kind of not within my near future, so that was kind of discouraging. And that, of course, relates to him because I wanted him to have a sibling while I'm at school teaching or something like that. But until I can get through my stuff, there will not be another kitty anytime soon, which is sad. But in better news, about 2 months ago, I remember, I think I might have talked about it here, but on Instagram I definitely did. I sent in his DNA. I did it's called Base Pause, and Base Pause is a service that it's kind of like an ancestry for cats, but you can figure out their breeds as well as their health disposition. So there's one that's just for like knowing their breed, and then there's one for breed and health. So they check over, I think it's like over 35 diseases that they're genetically disposed to. So if there's something within their genetics that would be, they have all the fancy disease names that are medical and hard to pronounce, but pretty much, cataracts in cats, right? That's a huge thing when they get older. So I wanted it more not only for the breed results, but also for his health. So kidney failure is something that you can be genetically disposed to as a cat. So I wanted to see, if there was anything like that. And boy, oh boy, do we have some results. It's all good. He was checked for 38 diseases that are common in his breeds. And he was clear on every single one. He's not even like remotely at risk in his genetic code for these really terrible things. And there was one that he's like low level, but it's not anything to be concerned about. Of course, I immediately called the vet and I was like, what is this disease? Like, and she was like, okay, it's not even anything to worry about. So, but I want to share his breed results because I thought they were cool. So, and then that's what we'll end with. So that'll leave on a good note. He is 55% Western cat, 10% Eastern, and 10% exotic. And there's another, it's polycat, and I just wanted to talk about these three because I thought those were cool. But so I thought he was mainly Maine Coon, which the vet also agreed that he would be mainly Maine Coon because of his little N that he has and these other characteristics. But actually, he is only 3% Maine Coon. I was like, gagged and gooped. Like, you really got me there. I thought you were more than that. But he is 14% Ragdoll, which is a Western, like, grown cat. Like, Western, this is where they came from, right? So he's also 10% American Shorthair. He is 5% Thai Siamese. And he is 10% Savannah. So, of course, with the breed results too, they break down kind of where they found it in his genetic code. And I have all this data on him and everything like that. That's just the very major stuff. But I just thought it was cool to kind of share that with y'all because when I was looking at the photo of an American Shorthair, I could see the characteristics that he had and that the American Shorthair has. And then especially with the Ragdoll, they're kind of floofy and, I just thought it was really cool. So I thought I'd share that with y'all. But other than that, this was a weird, I can't remember what I've said, Flosstube, so I hope it was somewhat manageable to comprehend and listen to. But, I'll have my link tree in the description box along with the rest of the show notes with the people that I mentioned in this video. We're going to, if you have any questions, drop it down there as well, just because either whether that's on fabric or flosses or anything like that. And yeah, subscribe, like, comment, follow me on Instagram, Noah.stitches. Again, it's in the link tree. My Gumroad is going to be in that, so you can go and scoop up some patterns if you want any of those. Again, it's a name your own price. You can name it at $0. I'm totally okay with that. I feel better having it on Gumroad now than I did on Etsy. No offense against Etsy, but to me personally, for my patterns, I feel good with them being on Gumroad. So other than that, my finished parade will be out sometime next week. I'm gonna shoot for Monday, but it may be even earlier. I might just get really excited and go ahead and jump on that. And yeah, thanks for spending the time with me today. Under an hour, so maybe, you know, I know it won't be done in one sitting, because unless you're stitching, I hope you got some good stitching in. But until I see y'all next week for my finished parade, and then my normal floss tube after that, then here we are. So I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay happy and healthy, and yeah. Erickson's in the other room. He's probably asleep now, so I won't go and wake him up and pull him in here, but I hope you got a little good kitty cam in the beginning of this. So, all right. Till next time.